former gamers of Reddit, what was the reason you stopped playing video games altogether, or a lot less frequently? Having 800 other tasks to do a day. Hashtag growing up sucks. That sums up all my hobbies. From what my wife tells me, gaming isn't a hobby. Exactly. It's a way of life. I'm sure that's what she was saying. Depression made me uninterested in gaming for a while. I wanted to play, and I'd sit down trying to get into a game, but I just couldn't bring myself to enjoy it. Edit. Damn, I wish I had some kind of advice for people feeling the same way, but I really don't. It just took time for me to feel normal again. I'm sure that's a shit piece of advice, but I don't have much else to offer. Yet, this right here, it's the #1 reason I can tell when I fall into a depression. When you don't even have the motivation to do something that would otherwise bring you enjoyment. Edit. I'm not a psychiatrist, so I can't say for certain if you're depressed or not, but I know personally that anhedonia is a symptom of my depression. I highly recommend you talk to a medical professional about your depression symptoms. Working and living in an area with only enough internet power to watch a YouTube video at 144p. Same here. I moved back home every summer for college and there is terrible satellite internet there. I do very little gaming except for single player games. Single player games don't have the same addiction level as multiplayer games, I find. r/Factorio wants to have a chat. The factory must grow. The factory must grow. Work mainly, and I've also got molding. That I find it hard to get into modern games. They either require too much lead-in time or I don't have the time to dedicate to getting good at. I'd love to have a LAN Age of Empires battle again. Those were the days. Edit. Madredi dias. This resonated with a lot of people. Nice to see I'm not alone. Community of AoE second is still very active. Visit r/AoE2. No idea why all of you are complaining about two good players. Just play with friends against AI or something. FFS. Yeah. And the HD version on Steam is really welcome. MP performance is great, and while it's not technically LAN, as long as you have a decent connection, it's really the best we could have hoped for. There is also Voobly, which while a little difficult to set up, better caters to those who want to play multiplayer. They ate up way too much of my time. I still love gaming, but I realized that sitting in front of a PC all day every day was making me fat, unhealthy, and miss out on so many of the things I should have been doing, both with responsibilities and also with life in general. I still jump in now and then for an hour or two occasionally, but the free time equals game time way of thinking had to come to an end, and my life is better because of it. I agree. I started seeing others make drastic changes with their lives by dedicating their time to doing other things. A friend of mine who was really into League of Legends was practically diamond/challenger level. No masters at the time. Lee Sin player. He stopped, sold his account and went to train. He's won several awards in taekwondo competitions and become an IRL diamond/challenger level Lee Sin. He's been a huge motivator for me to follow, though I don't dedicate hardly as much time as he does into fitness. So for me, fitness motivation pushed me. More time at the gym, less time gaming, and it helped me feel more confident and positive with myself. Mostly a lack of mental energy. I find it on my day off from work and chores and errands and etc. I don't want to do stuff that engages that much of my brain. I might just have to get into dumber games. I tend to enjoy the resource management/puzzle/open world type games that make you juggle a lot of info for crafting and which way to proceed. Minecraft. 29 years old here. Just started playing it. Can't believe I never tried long enough to play it and enjoy it over the years. Ah yes, where 10 years of my life has been spent building weird stuff and or towns. If you're into town building, look up custom NPC. You can really liven the game up. Shops, quests, guards, orcs and elves. It takes an assload of work, but if it's used in tandem with survival, it is bomb AF. I started drawing and couldn't spend 12 hours a day staring at my laptop anymore. It was too tiring. I want to take illustration really seriously, but I spend 75% of my time sleeping, working or at school, and the other 25% I spend playing video games to escape how shitty it all is. Maybe your comment will give me some motivation to cut back on gaming to do something I've always dreamed of doing. Hey, I'm basically on that boat too. I recommend getting small A6 pocketbook and a pen and just sketch whenever you can. Also stop feeling unmotivated because you aren't good enough and can't be proud of your current art. It's practice. If you stop, you'll never reach the point where you can be proud. Congratulations, you have been visited by Danita Vito Dorito. Like the video and subscribe to Comment Awards for good luck from Danita Vito Dorito. Now back to scheduled programming. Lost interest like many because of viral demands and wanting to do more with my time. Also got kinda creeped out by the whole gamer lifestyle that has continued to worsen. But the biggest thing that made me put down the controller was I felt like my entire life was anger. Listen to the news on the way to work, rage. Do my job, rage. Check social media, rage. News on the way home. Somehow worse than the morning, rage. Play competitive video games into the night, rage. Everything was this constant anger cycle, and I had to make some pretty big changes all over my life to be happier. ITT. People who are giving me good reasons to quit playing games. My life genuinely is better now. I play less, only when I've got a group of friends online to play with, never alone. But see, the problem is my friends are always online. Same. I basically only play with friends, but my friends are great at not being online at the same time. So even though they only play 1 to 2 hours a day at maximum, I can play 4 to 8 hours and always play with someone. I stopped when I realized the ratio feeling of joy and accomplishment / time investment of video game was far inferior to the one of my other hobbies. This so much. I used to game at least 3 to 4 hours per day, but after living abroad for 6 months I realized I only gamed because I had nothing else to do, which gave me satisfaction. I also can't game in moderation. When I like a game, it has to completely takes over my life, which is a pretty unhealthy habit. I guess I finally discovered how much real life actually has to offer. I will still game occasionally for the rest of my life, but gaming maybe a few hours a week will keep it fresh and fun. It might also just be that my interests have changed, but when I play a game too much I just get depressed. Nowadays this can't be life. I'm just wasting my limited time here on earth by doing this. Gaming often started feeling like a chore and like work, especially because I was so into MMOs. I learned everything you do is a sacrifice to something else. For example, if I played video games for 10 hours on a Sunday, that's get hours I could have used to accomplish or learn something. I like video games and still play them, but I don't want my greatest accomplishment in life 100% in a game. I love playing guitar, learning languages, and reading far more. The official term is opportunity cost, the loss of potential gain from other alternatives when one alternative is chosen. You made an example in time investment. Play video game for 10 hours on Sunday, instead of using that 10 hours on something else. I'm proud of your enlightenment on the time management. Life is too short to learn and enjoy other productive tasks. I run 4 different D&D games, including one written from scratch, so I put all my gaming time into D&D preparation time. If I lived close to my friend I would rather play D&D, much more fun than video games. Maybe when VR gets better, you can play on Roll20, that's how my group plays. We all live in different parts of the country, but can still play D&D together. You can also find parties who are looking for players, and DMs are for hire too. For me, there were 2 things. The communities I was a part of grew increasingly toxic, but gaming alone isn't as fun. I found other hobbies that took more time. I still game, but I'm pickier about what I'll put my money into, and I find I'd rather revisit old games than take a chance on some of the crap coming out. I discovered a love for hiking, and it's considerably better for my mental and physical health, and more of my free hours on weekends goes to that now, but I still typically find a few hours during the week to chill with the like, 4 people that I'm still pals with online to play games. When you get older, there's a growing list of shit that you have to do, and not just things that are day to day. Adulting. I hate that word. Tasks, but things that you need to do if you want to advance or improve in life. Sure, I'm still friends with a few people who spend every waking minute there, not at work buried in video games, but I can't be one of them anymore. I'm still guilty of losing myself occasionally when I find a game I really like for a few weeks / month. Witcher 3, I'm looking your direction. But inevitably, I put it down and get back to business. TLDR, at some point, leveling up in real life just became more important than having a rel VL70 Nerdmaster character build. You have been visited by the smart studying doggo. You'll be blessed with good grades only if you subscribe to Comment Awards and like the video.
PG!
On top, food chain, won't stop, new game, hot box that blue haze, 1 lock, 2 chains, no bras, 2 babes, mic drop, new stage, lights in my rear view, 5 cops, full race, faster than a Tesla, they say I'm exhausted.